Yeah, no pyrotechnics when I played though. But I think the club deserve a lot of credit for the show that they do put on. It's very scenic, red and white at both ends of the stadium, as well as the pyrotechnics. That wind, it had died down, but it's kind of got up a little bit again, so it might have an impact in the game. But as far as Aberdeen's concerned, they really have got to take 3 points. This is the one that you'd be looking at out of all the ties that they've got, that they would be perhaps slight favourites to take the 3 points. But we have got to just be a little bit careful. Noah's got 4 points so far, and I don't know too much about them. We don't know too much about them. But you get 4 points at this level, then they're going to be a danger. But Aberdeen, they've been very strong at the back. They've lacked goals. Kevin Nisbet has got to find his form. He's got to find the form that we know that he's capable of, and it's great to see Carlson back, after his absence against Hearts. He is a very important player for Jimmy Tilleen.
Yeah, Kevin Nisbet, 14 without a goal in the red of Aberdeen. I think it's 16 without a goal, or 18 as I should say, if you include a few games he had at Millwall as well, in between his loan spell last season and the start of this season. The sides are lined up and ready for kick-off. Aberdeen in the traditional red top, red shorts, red socks, and they're going to shoot towards the beach end at Pittodrie. Noah in all white with black stripes down the sleeves and on the shorts, and we are just about ready for action. The referee is Paweł Raczkowski of Poland, an all Polish officiating side, and Aberdeen kick us off all the way back to Dimitar Mitov, who launches it forward with the right foot, and we're up and running. Matchday 4 in the Conference League. Aberdeen winning here on Sunday against Hearts. It was just their second home win in 10 games, and it is a packed and expectant Pittodrie tonight, as Adil Aushish picks up and knocks it to Knuster just on halfway. He is pressurised, and it goes back to Milne, one of 2 of the young academy graduates in the side. That's a really poor pass from Mitov. Just tried to pick an easy one to Devlin. He's put it straight out the pitch and invites needless pressure, Willie.
It does. You start the game, and my thought was always that your early touches, your early passes, tackles, etc., do them positively, do them correctly, concentrate on what you've got to do and get yourself off to a good start. Unfortunately, Mitov on that occasion, switched off completely, and he just played it out the park when it was such an easy pass to Nicky Devlin.
Thrown on this near side now, Bouaké, the right back, gives it infield to Sangare, Burkina Faso midfielder, one back, and Carson with a step over, but he's given it away. It breaks into midfield. Nisbet can't quite get there. Ashish gets a toe on that, but it's with Iteki, the midfielder for Noah FC, who have had a bit of a rapid rise in European football terms. That's a loose pass at the back though from the visitors, and Carlson was able to put pressure on, and Aberdeen have won a throw in halfway up Noah territory.
Yeah, got to take advantage of it as well, I would suggest. The most important thing obviously is to keep possession, but try to get possession in the opposition box. And again, the throwing goes to Kevin Nisbet. You just feel he should do better with that. He's under a little bit of pressure, gets a good touch on it. It's a poor second touch though, but Aberdeen still got another throw in a little bit further forward as well.
Yeah, throw in line with the edge of the Noah box. Aberdeen take it to the feet of Aushish. Jensen who delivered it. Aushish drops the shoulder, comes back, and then passes it to Carlson. He takes it into the box. Good strength from Adil Aushish, and he fires it towards the near post area. The shot was fairly tame though, and the goalkeeper Fayulu comfortably gathers, but it's positive.
It is positive. I thought Aushish should have taken the ball on. I don't really feel that he had the opportunity with the strike with the left foot. He was off balance as well. He's in the penalty box too, just kind of tempt the defender into maybe making that tackle.
Good passing by, and Grigic slides, keeps it in, and he hits it off Jack Milne, and it'll be a Noah corner, and that is just from one end to the other.
Yeah, and I think if the tackle goes in, then there's an opportunity. If the tackle's not accurate enough, and there's a penalty staring you in the face early in this game. So I thought decision making, and I feel that at times in the final third, when Aberdeen get there, then their decision making is not particularly good.
It's Gudmundur Thorarinsson, the Icelandic fullback for Noah, who's over this corner in front of the main stand. And he's been asked to hold it, replaces the ball on the edge of the quadrant. Aberdeen have been vastly improved defensively in recent weeks. Corner floated in right on top of Mitov, who gathers easily enough. Aberdeen's number one looking for the throw out, and he finds Dylan Lobban, who controls and strides towards halfway, and then he plays it forwards, but it's between Keskinen and Karlsson, and then it's headed towards halfway. Jensen managed to win the ball for Aberdeen. Now it's Knustart back to Jensen on the left hand side on the halfway line, back to Aushish. Aushish playing in that deeper midfield role again. He put in a shift against Hearts on Sunday. Talked about a conversation he had with Jimmy Tulin about kind of adapting his game to play in that position, as it's up to Nisbet. Nisbet into the centre circle for Devlin, who is captaining Aberdeen this evening. Shinnie is on the bench as Lobban controls, gives it to Aushish. Right hand side for Aberdeen, comes back in the pitch. And there's a wraparound run from Lobban. He drives to the byline, floats in a dangerous cross. It's just over Nisbet and then flicked away by the defender. Knustar carries it towards the edge of the box. Knustar to Jensen, back to Polvara. Polvara to Jack Mill. Positive play down the right hand side from Dylan Lobban. It's now on this near side through Karlsson, the short sleeves and the gloves. Polvara back to goal, gives it to Knustar, the left centre half, and he's going to cross it from a deep position, and it's headed by Muradian and then chipped forward, and Milne's going to have to scamper across here. He's got the pace ahead of Mula Husseinovic, the striker. Goes back to Mitov, who exchanges the passes with Nicky Devlin, and Aberdeen starting to get a bit of control, will it?
Yeah, it's been decent. You know, they haven't managed to manufacture an opportunity yet for themselves, but young Dylan Lobban really positive down that right hand side.
It's chipped to bind for Jensen to chase the goalkeeper. Fayulu comes to the edge of his area and clears it. Played for the Democratic Republic of Congo, and as they managed to get through to the playoffs in the World Cup. And Nisbet jinks and tries to cross it in. It's blocked off Santini, the centre back, and Nisbet's won it back, and he's got the centre back in all sorts of bother, but he's managed to recover his composure, the Noah defender, and eventually it's played off Jensen for a goal kick to the Armenians.
Yeah, his touch has been okay, Kevin Nisbet. You know, he's working hard. He's looking for the ball as well. So he's given options, although he's just up there really in his own. And you hope that Keskinen and Jensen, no, Keskinen and Karlsson, I beg your pardon, can get a little bit closer to him to give him, you know, a little bit more support. But so far his touch has been good, and he's taken part in the game.
Yeah, he was slow to get going last season, Kevin Nisbet. Ended up with 14 goals. He always seems a player who needs games and confidence to really show his top quality. He's obviously been playing second fiddle to Lazatic for the last few weeks as it's chipped forward, and Devlin and Milner are kind of in each other's way there, but it's nodded harmlessly into the Aberdeen box, and Mitov controls and strokes it to Knustar on the right foot. Aberdeen have kept 7 clean sheets in their 19 games, 3 of those in their last 4 games. It's been a marked improvement since the demolition in Athens, but they're still looking for the greater impetus in the final third, shall we say. A lot of 1-goal wins, but better that than no wins, which was the case at the start of the season. Free kick to Aberdeen, foul on Keskinen in his own half, and it's taken fairly quickly by Devlin as Karlsson ran in behind, but it's dealt with by Boakye. He lays it off to Soele, the Portuguese left back for Noah, who were competitive in last season's Conference League with 4 points. The only game in which they were taken apart was at Stamford Bridge, which was beaten 8-0 by a second string Chelsea sides. They went on to win the competition. Chipped forward by Santini, the defender, chested by Thorarinsson. Then Helder Ferreira, the Portuguese winger, who is captaining Noah tonight. And they are a team with a lot of foreign players. There is an Armenian core, but 15 of their 24-man squad are players from abroad. A lot of them technically good. Noir, despite being the Armenian champions, are down in 5th place at the moment in their domestic league. They've only won 1 of their last 7 games, and they don't travel well either. They've only won twice on the road all season. A real opportunity for Aberdeen, but it's the visitors who are really keeping the ball, but it's well won back by Polvara. I thought he'd won it back, but it's Iteki who's managed to outmuscle him in the end. The Cameroonian midfielder for Noah, and it goes all the way back to Faulu, the goalkeeper. It's goalless after 8.5 minutes at Pataudry in the Conference League. On Sport Sounds, BBC Radio Scotland Extra, flicked on by Mula Husseinovic, and Milne will go across as he kept that in with the pass. He has. Devlin into Polvara across to Jensen, and now Jensen has a 2-on-1. He's got Carlson into the box, and the pass just reaches Carlson, but it wasn't a good one, and Boakie read it. He's cleared it off Carlson, and it's going to go behind eventually for a goal kick.
It was almost, wasn't it? You felt, sometimes Jensen, well, to be perfectly honest, most of the time Jensen gets himself into that position, then the quality is not at the highest standard. There's no problem with him in terms of his attitude, his work rate, his drive, his determination, the fact that he wants to go forward all the time, but he just needs to slow down and find that quality in the final pass, and that was an example of it again, where Carlson was totally free. It was 2v1. It was a great opportunity to carve Noah open, and the pass just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, you're almost desperate for him to either fire it in early or commit the defender, and he did neither really. Just lacked any sort of conviction from Jensen there. Knuster has it at the back for Aberdeen. He's been an impressive performer in the defence, never present really since his injury at the start of the season. Lobin tries to take that out the sky, but he was under pressure immediately from Sualehi. Now Muradian, Armenian centre back, has chipped it rather unhelpfully for Ferreira, who had to concede the throw in. Aberdeen throw over on the far side in front of the south stand, good 20 yards into Noah's half, still goalless. No really clear chances. Haushish had that effort for Aberdeen in the opening couple of minutes, but it was a comfortable save for the goalkeeper. Here's Knuster running across the pitch, gives it to Jensen at left back, infield to Carlson, back to Polvara, the American, and it's Knuster who bends a pass towards Carlson, but it's easy enough for the defender to read it, and then it's fired up, and Milne was dragged forward, but he's managed to do enough to put the striker off, and then goes through and picks up the loose ball. Polvara sends it forwards, Keskinen underneath it, Carlson on the second spins, and then he's closed down by Torarinsson, up to Musa Jelenovic, and he has his heels clipped by Milne, and it is a free kick to Noah in the centre circle.
He's handled that position extremely well, Jack Milne, and he's handling it again tonight, even when he's exposed 1v1. There's not too many going to get the better of him in terms of pace as well. And he'll learn, he's still really young and raw in terms of the amount of games that he's played. So, I think with every game and playing at this level will certainly help him too. And if he continues on the progress, then I can see Steve Clarke giving him a little opportunity, just to be part of the squad at some point going forward, because he is playing at a very high level.
Well, that's the incentive now for so many Scottish players. It's going to be incredibly difficult to get into the Scotland World Cup squad, but give yourself a chance, you never know. Injuries can take their toll across the course of the season. Here is Polvara going back towards his own goal in the centre circle, and it's to Jensen to Milne. Aberdeen with 2 really tough fixtures to come, Strasbourg in a couple of weeks here at Pataudry. They're sitting 5th in Ligue 1 in France at the moment. Seriously good side who have the backing of Blueco, the owners of Chelsea, and Sparta Prague, who are 2nd in the Czech League at the moment, embroiled in a title race with Slavia. So it's going to be tough going for Aberdeen, as it's Knuster who drives over halfway. He's maybe fortunate to keep hold of that ball, and it's given away by Keskinen, and now Torarinsson holds off the challenge of Haushish and goes back to the defender Boakie, and then Sentini, Guadalupe international. Boakie at right back, dummies and drives infield, clips the ball over to the left back. So Alehi, he's going to dribble forward to halfway. He's crowded out and manages to get the pass away to Tor Aronson, and then Santini and Noah just putting a few passes together and trying to take the sting out of what had looked for a 5 minutes or so was growing Aberdeen pressure.
Yeah, they're comfortable on the ball.
And that's dropped in behind for the striker to chase, but Mita will get there easily enough.
Yeah, I just feel that, you know, Aberdeen need to be on top of them more. They've got to make contact with the opposition. I think, you know, particularly early, get them tested out. I think it's too easy for Noah to pass the ball about. Listen, they look confident, they look technically good, but at the same time they haven't been put in my book under enough pressure to get them tested.
On Knuster with a lovely ball to Carlson. He's in the box, wide of the goal, turns back, lays it to Jensen. It's past him. Keskinen shots blocked, breaks towards the edge of the 6-yard box. The defender swipes it clear. Bit of magic there from the centre back Knuster to spot the run of Carlson. Devlin under pressure from Ferreira, and he's lost out to the Portuguese winger. Now it's Tor Aronson. Noah with it just short of halfway, and they've won a throw in.
He's got that though, he's got that ability, he's got that quality, he's calm, Knuster, he's a good defender, he's quick, he's strong, maybe not the most powerful in there, but he's decent in there. And when he gets forward, you know, he sees the pass. That was a lovely pass for Carlson. It was well weighted too. Eventually it was well defended, but you know, with Keskinen coming in off the right as well, there was an opportunity to strike towards goal. It was blocked, but the Knuster pass was excellent.
You're listening to Sportsline on BBC Radio Scotland Extra live from Pataudry. It is Aberdeen 0, Noah FC of Armenia 0 as the clock hits 15 minutes here in the northeast. Still goalless at Ibrox between Rangers and Braga. That's over on FM. You'll get that on your Sounds app as well if you're just tuning in and want to listen to that instead. Celtic were 3-1 winners in the Europa League earlier away at Feyenoord. Can Rangers and Aberdeen continue a mighty positive week for Scottish football, and boy have we needed it after the season so far. As a look at Jimmy Tillene, expressionless as he often is, watching on. Noah with the ball in their own half. So Alei, the left back, goes back to Muradian, who has got 102 appearances for Noah, and he's a record appearance holder in the club, only 8 years old. As Boakye plays it down the line, Jensen picks it off, finds Aushish, whose touch takes him towards the touch line, and he has it pinched back off him by Boakye, who tracked back really well. Now it's Sangari and Iteki. Pofara with good strength. Noah looking for a free kick. The reverse pass is blocked. Milne sends it back towards the box, and then he can't control it as it's returned to him. And now Tor Aronson out to Ferreira, who jinks in from the left-hand side. His pass is blocked and it breaks in for Valvara, who is fouled. Free kick. It's just been a scrappy last couple of minutes. Neither side really able to keep hold of the ball for very long.
They haven't had any room, have they? I mean, both players are working extremely hard to kind of negate the opposition, and you know, when it gets tight like that and the game's squeezed, there's no squeezing it quite well from the back. There's not much room. Then it ends up, and it is a little bit blustery out there now, and it ends up you know, being a little bit scrappy, but still some decent football being played. You know, a lot of pockets of space opening up, and for Aberdeen just now to take advantage of.
Another little decent run forward from Dylan Loven before offloading the ball. It's switched over to Knuster, who's surging towards the corner of the penalty area, and he's picked the pass for Keskinen, who's let it run. He probably had to, and the defender shepherds out for a goal kick. Again, Willie, I feel like it's not the first time you've heard this season, but it's just a final ball for Aberdeen at times.
Yeah, it is, and you know what, I didn't think that was a particularly bad ball. I just felt that Keskinen was too worried about the defender, to be honest. I felt he could have got his body between ball and defender, and he kind of ran past the ball and made it just too easy, you know, for the defender to take control of that situation. I thought it was a decent ball from Knuster. It wasn't, you know, right up there, but it certainly wasn't a bad one.
Well, they've just scored the 9 goals in 12 Premiership games, obviously 2 here against Shakhtar, and haven't scored in the Conference League since. Only scored more than once in 4 of their 19 games. A chance here as the low cross is flashed towards Nisbet, the near post, but the defender got there first and sends it out for a throw-in over on the far side. It's chucked to Nicky Devlin. Looks up, thinks about the cross, and it's a combination with Carlson and Lobin and Devlin. Back to Ashish. Now it's Carlson, and then it's Devlin right on the edge of the penalty area, but he was crowded out. Ashish has pinched it back, and then Lobin takes it on. And he's done brilliantly, the youngster. Finds Ashish, and then it's Devlin, corner of the area, flashes the ball in, headed away by Moradian. Knuster picks up. Tataudry roars. They want to see more of this from Aberdeen as Polvara receives the ball, urged to shoot. He's dribbling into the box, and his feet are not fast enough to evade the two defenders. Ashish has won it straight back on the edge of the box. Keskinen with a driving shot, feeling confident after his winner against Hearts, but it deflected back into his path, and then in his eagerness to get back on it, he's fouled the defender, and it's a free kick.
But it's energetic play, isn't it? You know, particularly down that right-hand side. Carlson, Lobin, Nicky Devlin getting involved as well, and then it comes over to the left, and you know, Keskinen is there to have a strike. It's a decent strike. It's on target. It's well blocked actually. He's maybe about 20 yards out. So it's energetic. It's good, decent quality. You know, just got to keep that kind of a standard up.
Jack Milne took a sore one there as he watched that high ball. He's gone down holding his face, and Nardin Milahusenovic, the Bosnian striker, is apologising. I think he just accidentally caught him there as they challenged for the ball. The referee's is telling Jack Milne to stop there, because I think he's got a cut on his face, so he's going to have to get some treatment here. The Aberdeen defender, spilling out next to his eye there.
Quite a bit, isn't it? You know, it's a nasty one. The referee's right in stopping it. That's, you know, when there's as much blood as that going about, you've got to stop it. A bit of an elbow into the face there. Listen, it's a kind of an arm that's flailing a little bit, but you know, it wasn't too bad. But Jack Milne definitely getting the worst of it there, and having to get attention. I'm sure they'll be able to, you know, patch that one up. It seems to be just maybe above the eye, and the blood kind of dribbling into his eye, just down the side of his eye as well. So he needs that attention. They need to stop the blood. They need to make sure that you know, he's okay. And it was a head knock as well.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Nardin Milahusenovic is a real threat between the posts as well. Scored in all three of Noah's Conference League games so far, including the winner against Rijeka, and there wasn't anything malicious in it. They're just going up, and he's he's off balance, and he's putting his arms out to try and regather his poise, and he just catches Jack Milne, who is now getting that cut seen to by the Aberdeen physios.
Yeah, the secret is, and Jack will learn it himself, to make sure that your arm and elbow is higher than your opponent's. And it does protect you. I'm not suggesting in any way, you know, to give one to your opponent, but it's about protecting, and particularly when you're up against, I don't know, what is he, 6'3", perhaps. I mean, Jack Milne's a tall defender as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how the youngster deals with it. He's taking a nasty one, and there's still, is it the old bandage round the head perhaps? I'm not 100% sure. The tubigrip might be coming out as well to keep the bandage on. Terry Butcher, if you're old enough to remember.
Yes.
Ish, yeah.
Indeed, that's being wrapped around his snapper as we speak. So that'll be a sore one to take off with that. Those locks that he's got on the head, Jack Milne, as he gets the treatment now, and this is going to mean a lot of added time at the end of this first half. It only played about 20 minutes, and it's goalless between Aberdeen and Noah here at Pataudry. It's been a fairly low-tempo game. We talked about the fireworks and the displays. The jumping John Hewitt in the Merklin end as well, that kind of lifted things, but I think the crowd are waiting for something to be this game to really catch fire, to see someone to really get behind, as Jack Milne is off the pitch just now, but he's just getting the go ahead from the officials to trot back on with his head bandaged up, and Dimitar Mitov will float this free kick downfield, won by Santini. Aushish returns it. Santini sliding challenge, breaks into midfield for Sangare, pass away to Sualehi. He chips it forward for Mula Husseinovic, out for a throw-in, and it's taken quickly, and the striker is onto it. Milne back into the battle. Mula Husseinovic has crossed it, but it's come out to this near side. Ferreira, the captain, controls and gives it to Boakie. Now it's the midfielder Iteki, and they play it across the back four to the left back Sualehi. He goes back in. They're a patient team, Noah, I think you could say. They're not looking to get forward at will, just trying to build it up, keep possession and work their opening. As Boakie clips it forward, just to say that, he sends it straight back to Aberdeen and Mats Knuster, who tried to clear it up the line, and it's come off Sangare, and it's an Aberdeen throw-in.
No, they don't seem to have an energy to get in the box, do they? Really, they seem a team that are quite happy to have it at the back, play it in midfield as well. Not too many targets up front, not too many runs, I would suggest, for the Aberdeen back three to worry about so far anyway.
It's coming to Polvara, who's played it to Lobin, who slides it down the side of the box for Keskinen, but it's a poor touch, and Polvara's read that really well, won it straight back, and he's crossing it to the back post. The defender Boakie is there as Carlson peeled off, hoping the defender would miss it. Ferreira back to Boakie, who clears it up to Mula Husseinovic, comes off Knuster, and he gives it to Aushish and back to Knuster, and then to Polvara. But now the referee's going to stop play for an injury to a Noah player. It's all a bit stop-start here at Pittodrie after 25. It's goalless still.
I think it's decent though from Aberdeen. You know, they have had the majority of possession. They've had a lot of control of the game as well, and you're just seeing the challenge getting in there. Palaversa maybe just a little bit late, but nothing too much in it. And I think Jimmy Tillane will be happy. I think he'll be content. I just feel that whenever they lose the ball, it's important that they don't give Noah the opportunity to settle and have easy possession.
Aushish collects it off Devlin, and he clips the pass forward that's quite far in front of Lobin, who at least manages to put pressure on Sualehi as he clears out for a throw-in. Lobin takes the throw-in quickly to Devlin. Devlin forced back, but then squeezes the pass into Polvara, back to Devlin. Devlin to Aushish. Aushish under pressure from Sualehi, and then manages to squeeze it through a gap to Polvara, who looks up. Has to go square to Knuster, who runs towards the touchline. He's going to drive forward, but Sangare puts the shoulder in and bundles Knuster over, but it was a fair one. It was just shoulder to shoulder. Aberdeen have emerged with the throw-in. It's just those opportunities. Sometimes Polvara had time and space there, but it wasn't really an obvious option for him.
No, but you know, they have got plenty of bodies back as well. They made it really difficult. There's not a great deal of room, and I think, like what Knuster did there, I think that's, you know, Nicky Devlin on the other side, which he's doing just now, is popping into midfield.
Santini deflects Devlin's ball forward. Aushish has nicked it away from Torarinson. He's into the box. Adil Aushish going towards the byline. Cross is blocked, but Sualehi manages to lash it downfield, out for an Aberdeen throw-in. Jack Milne bandaged up after his cut earlier. Stands on the ball, gives it to Aushish, first time to Keskinen, who was looking for Devlin, but he'd already made the run beyond, so it goes out for a throw-in to Noah.
But I think it's important that Nicky Devlin does that, and Knuster down the other side as well. There's only one striker up there, and you know, I think Jack Milne's dealt with him extremely well, and doesn't look as though he's got the pace or the better of the young centre back. So I think whatever side the ball's on, if one of the three centre backs, you know, the right or the left centre back, takes responsibility and drives forward, I think that could be a weapon for Jimmy Tillane.
Yeah, absolutely. Santini, the centre back. Noah, club only founded in 2017. They've changed name, they've changed cities, they've changed stadium. In a nomadic existence, but they were the first team ever to get to the Conference League proper last season by going all the way from the first qualifying rounds. It was a really impressive feat, and they beat AEK Athens along the way. So they are a really good team. And here is Ferreira to Grigic, the winger on the touchline. First 40 forward in a while for the Armenians. Iteke goes back to Sentini, and some of the fans here in the main stand at Pataudry just urging Aberdeen to push up, which they now do. The goalkeeper Fayulu controls it and floats one forward, and it's going to come off an Aberdeen head, so it's going to be a throw-in just in front of us here in the main stand. Boakye throws it back down the line to Sentini. Goalless between Aberdeen and Noah. Goalless as well at Ibrox, as Rangers take on Braga. Celtic 3-1 winners earlier, and the referee again is blowing the whistle for a free kick, and it's just very just a bit flat at the moment.
Yeah, it is. You know, when Noah get the ball, they can keep it, and you know, they enjoy passing it, and they're not concerned if they pass it back. So, you know, I don't think you know, time is important to them. They're quite happy to keep possession, and even if it's not being progressive and not causing Aberdeen any issue, it could be that it just turns the crowd a little bit and they get a little bit anxious. An Aberdeen player that is down, I'm wondering who it is.
It's Aushish. I think he took a ball to the face.
On the ear, I think it was, was it? I think it's kind of a caught him on the side of the face. It was you know, an awkward one from Aushish. It was, but it certainly wasn't meant, that for sure. I think it took maybe a little deflection as well, but anyway, he's down and he's getting that attention. So a couple of Aberdeen players, you know, having to receive attention, and Aushish he's making the most of it. He's flat out, isn't he?
I know.
So it must have been a sore one.
I would say, for like, see when you take one on the ear on a cold night.
Yeah.
It can be pretty sore, but yeah, he's been down for a good 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Half an hour played, although we've not actually played half an hour. We've had 3 fairly lengthy injury stoppages already. It's goalless in the Conference League between Aberdeen and Noah. It's the start of a crucial period in Aberdeen's season, you have to say. I mentioned Strasbourg and Sparta Prague to come over the next month, or 3 weeks for Aberdeen in this competition, but they've got 6 games in 18 days following Sunday's visit to Livingston before Christmas, and then they've got United and Hibernian between Christmas and New Year. So it's a really important period, and one that you feel it could be, maybe this is going over the top a wee bit, but it could be season defining.
Well, it's fabulous, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I think when you've got games, I always looked upon it, you didn't have to train too much, which was a joy, and you just constantly played games and you got yourself tested, and Aberdeen have got to get themselves tested. Listen, you know, the Hearts victory, it wasn't right up there in terms of performance, but it was a very decent performance. I thought particularly the first half, felt Aberdeen fell out in the second and Hearts dominated, and they did have opportunities, but you've got to take your opportunities. Hearts didn't do that. So that result, I think, was kind of an opportunity for them to turn their season round. They've now got all these games in a short period of time, and you know, if they can keep the same defensive qualities and not giving too much away, you know, in league terms anyway. It's just up front, you know, they just aren't creating enough. They certainly don't have a striker that looks as though he's going to be in the right place at the right time, but you've still got to create for the striker as well, and Aberdeen have not been doing enough of that.
We are finally back underway, and Adil Aushish is back on the pitch, and here he is receiving the throw-in. It's a poor pass, first time pass, as he tried to get Aberdeen moving forwards, bounces into midfield, and Ferreira flicks it with the top of his head. Polvara wins the second ball. It's scrappy in that midfield area. Aushish gets a toe on it, and it breaks for Knuster, who plays it up the line, and he's found Jensen in a good position. Back to goal though, and he's just kind of out-muscled there, Jensen, but Aushish has won it again, and then Carlson is challenged and gets a free kick. He was fouled by Sangare, and this is a handy position wide left of the box for Aberdeen to get numbers in the area.
Yeah, it is. Not too sure if it was a free kick, to be perfectly honest, or not. Thought Sangare took the ball there, but I think the referees decided that there was maybe too much force in it, perhaps. Anyway, Aberdeen have got the opportunity, left hand side, which I'm 25 yards out, but over towards the touchline. So it's about the delivery into the box, and Carlson, who fancies the opportunity to do something special.
Here he comes with the right foot, bends it in a great area, and it bounces in the 6-yard box. That's begging to be attacked. No one in a red shirt was there, and the goalkeeper just lets it go behind for a goal kick.
That's a fabulous delivery, isn't it? And Carlson's got a little smile on his face here, and he knows that it's a fabulous delivery. You know, you've got to have more determination to get in the end of that. It's begging. I think it was Polvara that was probably the closest, but just a little bit more determined, seeing it early and getting yourself on the end of it. Big chance.
You won't get a better delivery than that if you're looking to attack a cross ball. Stood up to the back post. Defenders were completely rooted to the spot. But Aberdeen just half a yard off it, and the goalkeeper, I think, was even confused because he didn't come for it either and let it bounce and go behind. But here comes Dylan Lobin, comes infield, gives it to Polvara, centre of the pitch, 30 yards out, and he's away from one and then overruns it, and then he's barged over Boaki and gives away the free kick. Aberdeen just need to maybe tidy up a few of these wee moments that are where they're overrunning the ball. Or
I think in that occasion, you know, Polvara, he's got other options, and I understand he's trying to make something happen, but you've got to have the ball under control as well, and you've got to have a clear path too. There was too many white jerseys back there. I think in that occasion you've just got to maybe put your foot in the ball and look to keep possession rather than giving it away.
Nisbet puts Santini under pressure, but he's done well to get the pass away to Boaki. The right back plays it off Aushish, who has been everywhere really for Aberdeen. He's stuck in, that's for sure. The Frenchman, as Santini goes back to Fayulu, the goalkeeper, who plays it long with the right boot. Another Husseinovic has managed to flicker on. It's played in behind her. Ferreira was miles offside, but it didn't go near him anyway. Goes through to Mitov, who plays it short to Lobin. Now Aushish, and de Todre urging Aberdeen to show more urgency on the pitch. Aushish back to Milne. Milne controls with the left boot, now bandaged up after his cut to just next to his eye earlier. Knuster goes long, it's not a good pass. Jensen's managed to keep it in, though he hasn't. Flag goes up, and I can give Knuster the benefit of the doubt and say there was a gust of wind, but I think that would be being kind, as he floated that one down the touchline. Throw in from Noah, comes up to Milo Husseinovic. He hits the deck, wants a free kick, not going to get it from the referee. Milne has it, strokes it to Aushish. He's in the centre circle, clips the ball towards Keskinen, and the defender goes down, and Keskinen is penalised for a push. Didn't appear a lot in it, but his arm did go out.
I don't know why he's making contact, to be honest. It's over the defender's head. If he drifts away, he's maybe got an opportunity to take that down, but he decides to, you know, make contact. You see that in the modern game quite a lot, though, don't you? You know, just rash challenges, little pushes as well, and you're just giving the referee an opportunity to stop the attack, and that's disappointing because it was a decent enough ball, in my opinion.
Yeah, and even it's just, I know he's keen to get on the ball, Keskinen, but even if you're not going to get there, just slow up and then put pressure on the defender, who's got to then deal with it. Yeah. But then he just gives away the cheap free kick. Those are the ones that the referee's always going to give. The defender goes down, slight arm in the back, defender goes down. Yeah. And the whistle goes. It's now an Aberdeen free kick after it was sent long. Knuster is on it. Jack Milne back to Mitov, who's been pretty much a spectator. That's the positive side for Aberdeen, that have not asked enough questions up the other end. Aushish had a half chance. Keskinen had a shot that looked like it was going on target from here, and it was blocked. They've been in a few promising situations, and the final pass has let them down. That's been about the size of it in terms of chances in this game. It is goalless. 37 minutes played. Up to Todre. Goalless at Ibrox as well between Rangers and Braga in the Europa League. Polvara's pinched this in midfield, and it's just deflected off the sliding midfielder Ateki, and then Polvara's belatedly been penalised by the Polish referee. So it's a Noah free kick, and the groans go around to Todre.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating, isn't it? You know, it's a big crowd here as well. The paddock end, or the red shed, is certainly trying to make the atmosphere decent, but it hasn't been really anything to get the fans excited. So, you know, we're hoping that that's going to change.
That's a pass straight out the pitch from Sangare, and that certainly got a cheer from the home fans. Yeah, you always feel in European football, Willie, and you've played over 60 games in Europe very successfully, is you want to get the crowd up from the start, and Aberdeen just a bit passive.
Yeah, you do, and you know, a lot of time in the early stages it's maybe not that much about the good football or keeping possession or racking up the numbers.
Ashish has won it, and then his pass straight to Santini. Lobben has won it back, and his pass is deflected. Carlson has returned it to the youngster. Tor Aronson slides in and stops Lobben from galloping down the side of the box out for a throw in line with the Noah penalty area. And now is that Carlson on the deck.
He's rolling about, isn't he? I don't know which seems to be his left foot. Didn't see the incident. It was all, again, rather kind of a scrappy, wasn't it?
I don't know if someone stands on his foot there, Willie.
I think it must have been, because it was a kind of a scrappy type of kind of a build-up play as well. But he's okay. I didn't think there was too much wrong with him.
No, he's okay. Aberdeen throw in to the feet of Jesper Karlsson, and then return to Lobben. He's crowd. Oh, lovely turn from the youngster, a little pirouette, and now Ashish, his pass is blocked, and it's actually come back off Aberdeen player, and it is a throw in to Noah.
It's not easy out there, right enough. You know, defensive, they're pretty sound. They've got plenty bodies back. They don't venture forward on too many occasions. Don't leave themselves open, you know, so far anyway, what, 30-40 minutes or so gone, and hopefully they keep not being a threat going forward. If that's the most difficult thing that Dimitar Mitov's got to deal with, then it'll be quite an easy night for him.
Yeah, that was
shot went past.
Yeah. Milo Husseinovic has got 7 goals this season, but dearie me, he had a bit of time there. He just completely fluffed his lines. It almost looked like a pass, but it was a poor pass as well, if it was that. And Mitov takes the goal kick long, still goalless. And Noah have scored in 10 of their 11 European games this season, going back to the qualifiers. They started in the Champions League qualifiers, got through one round, then lost to Robbie Keane's Ferencvaros, dropped into the Europa League and lost on penalties to Lincoln Red Imps of Gibraltar, which was a wee bit of a surprise. But they managed to see off the Slovenian champions Olimpia Ljubljana 7-3 on aggregate in the playoff round. 1-4-1 away from home in that tie, which is one of only 2 away wins in all competitions this season. But they do like to attack more than defend based on the results this season, but it's not been the case so far. It's been a pretty disciplined away performance in Europe from Noah FC. Santini, the centre-back, gives it to his partner Sergei Muradian, the Armenian international. Carlson intercepts that cross and then gets the return ball from Polvara. He's now on the right-hand side on the halfway line, and he chips one over the top, and the goalkeeper had to come all the way out to the edge of his box to deal with that, because Kevin Nisbet was lurking on the shoulder of the defence.
Wasn't a bad ball, was it, really? I mean, it was it speculative? I don't think it was. You know, he certainly knew what he was trying to do over the top of the centre-backs and into the path of Kevin Nisbet. The goalkeeper was very sharp off his line to clear the dangers from 18 yards out there as well, just right on the edge of his touchline, his box. So it's Carlson again. You know, he sees the pass, he delivers it reasonably well, but just not accurate enough.
Polvara in the Noah half, looking for support, has to lay it back to Jack Milne on the halfway line. Milne goes a long diagonal towards Keskinen, but it's too close to the goalkeeper, who then fumbled it, but he had enough grass around him to make sure he could just pick up at the second attempt. 3 minutes plus plenty of stoppage time to the break, and it's Aberdeen 0, Noah 0.
Yeah, we've had a number of injury issues, haven't we? And you know, there will be plenty of time before that half-time whistle goes.
Ball over the top, finds Grigic, and the flag eventually goes up for offside.
What is it? He's 2-3 perhaps yards offside. You know, put your flag up. You know, if it's tight, absolutely keep it down. But you know, when it's pretty blatant that it is offside, then you know, just get your flag up.
Yep, that's a free kick to Aberdeen, and Noah so far playing a bit like Larnaca did in that away game a couple of weeks ago, where pretty disciplined. Larnaca had more of the ball in that game, but it's fairly low tempo, from both sides in this opening half, but here's Polvara. Again, can't find Jensen into Torarinsson, the Icelandic player. Santini, the defender, it's a poor pass. Lobben read it. Lobben is on the march. He's got support from Karlsson. Karlsson, Aberdeen's most potent threat on the corner of the boxes. Crosses blocked. Was that with a hand? It probably was, but his hand was kind of tucked in by the body. We'll look at that in the VAR room, but I would be staggered if that was called back. Here's Milne to Knoester. Knoester, the Dutchman, back to Jack Milne. And is put under a bit of pressure from Mila Husseinovic. Knocks it back to Dimitar Mitov. 3 clean sheets in his last 4 for Aberdeen's number 1. As a long ball for Keskinen. He controls it on the edge of the box. Gives it to Jensen now. Jensen tried to reverse it, but that pass wasn't really on, and breaks into midfield for Sangari, up to Mila Husseinovic, then Ferreira, who's going to float it in behind, and the run is from Grigic, and Lobben is back. He's kind of misjudged the flight of the ball. Grigic has it, left corner of the box, gets it onto the right foot, the Croatian, strikes it goal. Easy save for Dimitar Mitov, but we have a shot on target, Willie Miller.
We do. Grigic making a really good run, I felt, from a deep area, but Dylan Lobben, I thought, did well to match him.
And now Keskinen sprung in behind. Good recovery from Boaki, took the shoulder in, but Keskinen has stayed on his feet and has the ball, slides it across, and it's on the turn. 1-0 Aberdeen, and Kevin Nisbet's 14-game goal drought is over, and that is a massive goal for him and a massive goal for Aberdeen. It is Aberdeen 1, Noah 0.
It's good to see him hitting the back of the net, and he did show the composure. But it was an opportunity created, and he doesn't get too many of them when he's playing with Aberdeen. Topi Keskinen doing extremely well, winning a physical battle towards the byline, keeping it up, and then showing the quality. Now, if he could just do that more often, he could be a top quality player, Keskinen, because he's got that pace and that drive. He gets you forward, he wins a physical battle, and then Kevin Nisbet takes it, he's facing away from the goal as well. He's got to then manufacture and make the space for himself. He takes it, the touch back the park, and then just whips it with the right foot and puts it into the near post. It's a really well taken goal from Kevin, isn't it? You know, that is the type of striker that he is. That's what he can do. He just had to do it more often.
Yeah, great to see him with a smile on his face. Look at the roar that he had as we just watched the replay here. That means a lot to him, Kevin Nisbet. Been a tough start to the season after joining permanently from Millwall, but that, as Willie described, is exactly what he's all about. Alive in the penalty area, turns the defender, and then reverses the finish as the goalkeeper went the opposite way. And it's a massive goal for Aberdeen, who now have a lead to protect, and they'll want to build on it as the offside flag goes up on this near side against Noah, and it's a timely goal as well, as James Tavernier has just scored from the penalty spot to put Rangers 1-0 up against Braga. Could we go 3 from 3 tonight in Scottish football?
That would be unusual, I would suggest, in European night recently, but it would be great if we could, you know. And I think as far as Aberdeen's concerned, they have had, you know, the majority of play. They've had most of the possession. They haven't looked too threatening, but you know, when Keskinen does that, he gets himself forward. You know, he's always keen to get forward and makes a good run. He just has to, you know, show the composure more often. You know, he showed the composure there. He picked out Nisbet, and Kevin did the rest.
Back to Dimitar Mitov on the edge of his box, and he sends it high into the night sky. Header forward from Maradian, and Milne stoops to knock it to Lobben. Up to Nisbet, who heads it up in the air. Maradian wins the seconds. Aushish has come up with it in midfield though. Pataudry is in fine voice after that goal, but it's given away to Sangari, who's driving to the edge of the box. Brilliant work rate that from Topi Keskinen. He's been penalised though, about 25 yards from goal, and he's going to get yellow carded as well. He's insisting he won the ball. Aberdeen are stunned, but the card, I think, is going to come out here.
Yes, that's unbelievable. The referee's indicating that there was an elbow thrown out. Well, he missed the elbow earlier, You know, when Jack Milne took one, and I can't believe that the free kick was given, and I certainly can't believe that a yellow card had been brought out. I thought Topi Keskinen did well. We're seeing a replay of it just now. There's nothing in it. There's absolutely nothing in that. He puts his arm across, which is legitimate to do as well, because he's actually in front of the Noah player. And I think he's really hard done by then, and Aberdeen are hard done by, and it's, you know, a central opportunity for Noah to get the equaliser.
Yeah, Hildur Ferreira, the captain, is one of them over it. Tor Aronson with the left foot is also over it. We're played the 3 added minutes at the end of this first half, and it is Ferreira, and Mitov has to leap in the air to tip it round the post. Really fine effort from Ferreira. Noah have the corner.
It was accurate. It's a spectacular save. It's a very good save. There just wasn't enough power on it from Ferreira, was there? He's curled it well. Listen, it's hitting that postage stamp right hand side of Mitov's goal. He gets his hand on it. I'm looking at a replay. It might have drifted past.
Corner into the near post. Polvara meets it, and he's under the seconds, and actually the referee blows for half time, and Pittodrie gets to its feet. Well, this game, well, it's fairly low tempo and fairly uninspiring, but Aberdeen have managed to bring Pittodrie to life right at the end of the first half, and the man who's done it is Kevin Nisbet. A really well taken goal. Ball in behind for Keskinen, cut back to him. He was facing away from the target, managed to turn the defender and reverse the finish into the bottom corner as the goalkeeper went in the other direction. It ends 14 games without a goal for Kevin Nisbet, and crucially it gives Aberdeen the advantage in this must-win game on Matchday 4 in the Conference League. Half-time at Pittodrie, it is Aberdeen 1, Noah FC 0.
Proposition, should Martin O'Neill stay? We'll discuss that a little later as well. We'll get the guys' thoughts. Rangers 1, Braga 0. James Tavernier with a penalty right on the stroke of half-time. Earlier on, Jack Butler and a couple of great saves from him. And let's get to the Conference League now. Up at Pittodrie, Aberdeen at home to Armenian side Noah. Let's hear from Willie Miller and Thomas Duncan.
Well, the hero here in the first half is Kevin Nisbet. I mentioned at the top he'd gone 14 games in an Aberdeen shirt without a goal, and he has ended that goal drought, and he did it just on the stroke of half-time to break the deadlock. It was a really well-worked goal. Diagonal in behind for Topi Keskinen to chase. He showed really good strength, out-muscled the defender on the byline. He then picked out Nisbet, who had a lot of work to do. He had his back to goal. He controlled it as he spun the defender and then sent the goalkeeper the wrong way with a lovely reverse finish. Until that point, in truth, it wasn't much of a game. It was fairly insipid stuff, pretty low tempo from both sides, barely any chances. Adil Aushish had a little half chance in the opening couple of minutes, but never really got hold of it. Keskinen had a shot blocked from distance, and Carlson put in a really good free kick to the back post, which was begging to be attacked, but no one in red got near it in the end. And as for Noah, they haven't offered a great deal. They'd looked fairly solid defensively until the breakthrough from Kevin Nisbet. The only real opportunity was Grigic had a shot which was comfortably saved from Mitov, and then Ferreira had a free kick after the Aberdeen goal, just the last action of the half really. Mitov managed to get across and save it and turn it behind for a corner. So far so good for Aberdeen, Willie Miller.
Yeah, Aberdeen haven't been tested that much, and Noah haven't really put them under any pressure. There's certainly been no intense pressure. There've been very few attacks that has caused the Aberdeen defence anything to think about at all. So Aberdeen dominating the ball, although not very many chances being made, and certainly Aberdeen still, you know, with plenty of possession, but when they get into that final third, they haven't been able, up until, you know, the last few minutes of that game, when they haven't been able to create opportunities, and Kevin Nisbet hasn't been looking like a player that is going to come alive in the box, but he certainly did in the last few minutes of the first half. And Topi Keskinen did extremely well, gets forward so well, Keskinen, you know, but normally and invariably the quality of the pass is not good enough. On this occasion, he gets his head up, he picks out Nisbet. Nisbet's still got a lot to do. He's towards the near post, he's maybe 8 yards out, something like that. He takes the touch, you know, across his body to get onto his right foot and away from the goal, but then he burrows and he gives the goalkeeper the eye, and he puts it into the near post, low and hard to give Aberdeen what is a very deserved lead at half-time. Not too many chances created, I would have to say. Mitov had a fabulous save from the free kick just before half-time. A free kick, in my opinion, that shouldn't have been given anyway. The Aberdeen goalkeeper coming to the rescue, touching it round just as the half-time whistle went. But Aberdeen, I think, deserved at half-time. 1-0 up.
Yeah, they've gone 7 games in a row, Aberdeen scoring 1 goal or fewer since they thumped Dundee here at Pittodrie 4-0, Kenny. If they go 8 and keep the door shut at the other end, it might be enough, but I think the fans here at Pittodrie would fancy a few more in the second half.
Good stuff. Thanks to Willie and to Thomas, an Aberdeen fan who's at the game tonight. Will join us later in the programme. We'll hear, of course, from Jimmy Tilleen, his post-match media conference. Tom English and Billy Dodds alongside me in the studio. Bill, we've got both games coming in, just perfectly described by the guys here at Pittodrie. It was a really nice finish from Kevin Nisbet, and one you feel he really needed.
Yeah, he needed it, and hopefully he'll go on to have the second half of the season he had last year, because he really kicked on when he started scoring a couple of goals, and then the confidence come back. It was, yeah, Tom has got it spot on. I mean, it's so strong from Keskinen, just sprints after it, shoulder charge, comes away with the ball, and it's a lovely pick out. And he has got so much to do, because he's touch, he takes it and then he spins round, he's back to goal and then turns, and you think from the position he's in he's going to play it across the goalkeeper to the goalkeeper's left, and he just reverses it and does the goalkeeper with the eyes. So a really, really good finish from Kevin Nisbet, a brilliant all-round goal from Aberdeen to put them ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, looking very good for them. As I say, we'll hear from Jimmy Tilleen after the game at Pittodrie this evening. We're on to 11 o'clock on BBC Radio Scotland. We'll hear from all 3 managers of the Scottish clubs, and we'll be joined by a fan from each of the clubs. Also interesting to hear what they have to say later on. Tom, watching the Rangers game coming into the studio here, hearing the commentary from Al and Andy at Ibrox, they were under a fair bit of pressure for long spells there. Braga look a decent side, and on a couple of occasions Butland bailed them out.
He did, yeah. He's made a couple of very important saves, and for a long time in that half Rangers really didn't exist as an attacking force. They had no shot on target. They had precious few touches in the Braga box, and all of a sudden the penalty drops out of the sky, and they're in the lead. And and the crowd, I would imagine, is pretty raucous. And what would have been, I would imagine, again, a pretty tense atmosphere, has now flipped. Braga are under pressure. They'll probably feel a little bit aggrieved that they're behind, but they are behind. And it's all looking good for Rangers. They'll have that confidence. Let's see if they can build on that now. It'd be a hell of a win if they were to pull this off. Similarly, Aberdeen. I'm so glad, Kenny, I went for 3 Scottish wins earlier on. Dodgy, I'm so happy I went for that. Because it's looking
probably
really
give
good.
it a kiss of death now.
My prediction is looking really good right now.
I mean, we spoke before the game about the changes that Danny Röhl made to the side tonight. Max Aarons was a surprise, I think it's fair to say.
Yes.
What have you made of the performance?
They struggled to start with, and Hort had a couple of great chances. They did go with a back 4. I was so surprised to see it, I've got to be honest. Just by how, and I was only judging it because of how poor the 2 central defenders were on Saturday against Livy. But anyway, they go with the 4. I don't think Braga's been at their best, but they still got 2 times where they get through, and Jack Butland does what Jack Butland does in European nights and has to make a couple of big saves, and that's kept them in it. Then they have a wee spell of pressure, don't they, Tom, where I wouldn't say it was like backs to the wall stuff for Braga, but put them under a bit of pressure. Danilo had an unbelievable chance where the one thing about him, he's a good finisher, but he was pretty timid with that one. He usually finds the corners once Diamandi sets him up, but he hit it straight at the goalkeeper. Then Barron and Gassama combined to let Tavernier have a strike over the bar, and then there was a penalty shout as well, and then eventually they got one where even Andy and Al didn't see it, and they were at the game. Nobody saw it, but Navarro, he was timid as well, because you've got to be brave in that front area for Braga with the ball coming in, out swinging corner, and he just leads with his arm. He doesn't see it, but his arm's out, and he just kind of arms it away, elbows it away, and quite right to give the penalty, and then Tavernier sticks it away. So good for Rangers, because they haven't been at their best. They've been organised, and they lead 1-0.
The lads were talking about a chance for Chermiti, came over the back post there. It wasn't really, it was a tough chance. I know they've probably only seen it once. We've seen it a number of times.
Slightly
now.
behind them, yeah.
Slightly behind him. It's not it's not a big chance, that one. So
What
I feel
about
a bit
the-
sympathy for him there?
The centre of that defence, Tom, we were in here on Saturday and they were awful, and it's more of the same thing, just a couple of chances flashing up there, just too easy to get through.
Yeah, they are. I'm not a Giga fan, as you know. But look, they're missing Cornelius, they're missing Suter, they're missing their top two centre halves. That's going to be hard for anybody if you take those two out. So they're surviving, mainly thanks to Jack Butland. But if Braga, if Rangers now or if they start dropping deep, if they try and defend a 1-0, I think they're in trouble, because I don't think this defence is good enough to withstand Braga coming at them in waves. So they have to be brave, and they have to, within reason, not recklessly, go after a second goal, because I think if they sit back, they're going to invite trouble onto themselves, and they're going and eventually Butland is not going to bail them out.
It's weird with centre halves who have a mistake in them, because when it comes to big games, they suddenly focus a bit more. And I'm not saying they've been totally focused tonight, but they look pretty comfortable. They don't look as bad. They were all over the place against Livy.
They've been cut open a couple of times tonight, the Billy.
Yes, I know, but that's midfield runners, and one of them came from a kind of wide area.
Right.
When they get through, it was switched from the other side and then the cross ball to put the runner through. They have been more solid than they were Saturday, because big games, they probably know we can't take it easy, have a cigar out and just play nice and easy football. We must concentrate. It's Europe for 90 minutes. So they look a bit more switched on. Hopefully they can hold on.
And Giga is less of a concern, albeit they paid a hefty loan fee. He is a loan player. Fernandez is a concern, isn't it, that there's been a significant investment there? What do you see in him?
Well, you look at the profile of the player, he's obviously a really big boy. He's played a few games down south and he looks fairly composed on the ball, but I think the big thing, I think it was Dozzy just mentioned there, it seems to be more that mental side of the game, where it be a lapse of concentration or almost being a little bit too overconfident at times. I've got to say, I think for the most part tonight he's been fairly comfortable. I don't think Rangers as a whole have been overly tested, other than that sort of 10-15 minute period at the middle of the half. But I don't think there's any doubt throughout the season. I think Rangers have struggled in both boxes, whether that be the centre half pair or whoever's played at the top end of the pitch. And we mentioned John Suter, we mentioned Derek Cornelius, who I don't think any doubt are the chosen starting pair in the centre half. But I think either of them as well. John Suter, I'm a huge fan of, but I think his own personal form has suffered at times this season. But what I will say, I think the two boys just now, Manny Fernandez and Nasser Giga, have obviously got the jersey just now through sort of default, and given the sort of mid to long term injuries for Cornelius and John Suter, it's an opportunity for them to make the position their own.
Andy, a huge game for your club this coming Saturday at home to Hearts. I want to have a discussion on the programme on Saturday about your manager Jens Bertolascu. Can you just tell us what makes him right now what appears a really good manager, and that change of shape that he had against Hibs, how that was so effective, how quickly, how much work you do in that, how easy it is to implement that change?
Well, it's interesting, Kenny. Unfortunately, I'm injured at the minute, so when you're injured, you're not in the meetings in the morning with the pre-match meeting or the tactical analysis meeting on Monday morning. So it wasn't actually until I think it was Tuesday at maybe 12 o'clock midday that I found out we were playing a back five, and I must admit I raised a couple of eyebrows myself, given how much praise we've been given for our shape and our style of play and how much we've dominated games of football. So I found it really surprising at that given time that we were changing for that specific game. But then boys started to filter in a couple of ideas he had within that. I think he mentioned himself post-match what a couple of the instances were. And for me, to be honest with you, Kenny, it was amazing to see it come to fruition for the stands, because it felt like everything he sort of spoke about, everything he sort of worked on, that he felt as if could not only restrict Hibs in possession but hurt them out of possession. You've got to say it worked to absolute perfection.
Has he got a real clarity of message, Andy?
Yeah, he does, and and to be fair, I think everyone can pretty much see a lot of the stuff he's trying to implement, and I don't think it's controversial to say it's out with the norm in Scotland, specifically with a club like Motherwell with the budget we've got. But I mean, for me, I think I feel really lucky at this age, when I've got one eye on the kind of coaching side of things, and to have someone with such a completely different philosophy and style that I've ever been used to
I think it's brilliant for me to kind of learn off, and I'm continuously saying to young players that you never know when you get an opportunity to work with someone that's again. So be a sponge, take as much information as you possibly can, and I think it's going to be an absolutely terrific game to watch this Saturday. We all remember the game at Tynecastle where it was an absolute clinic, to be honest with you, for 60 minutes, 3-0 up before Hearts showed their quality and brought it back to 3 each. And I think the beauty is everyone knows what to expect going into Saturday. Derek McInnes probably playing man for man, and Motherwell trying to build out for the back, so I think it's going to be a cracker.
Fantastic, can't wait. Thanks to the guys here at Ibrox for a choice of listening once again on BBC Radio Scotland. For Rangers against Braga, stick with us on 92 to 95 FM and BBC Sounds. And for Aberdeen's Conference League match against Noah, tune to BBC Radio Scotland Digital, 810 medium wave and extra on BBC Sounds, and both are live online, bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland.
Following Scotland's teams in Europe, live on Sports Sound.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome back to Pittodrie with me, Thomas Duncan, Willie Miller, alongside me for the second half. Kevin Nisbet's goal right before half time means Aberdeen start the second half with a 1-0 advantage. It's been a scoreline they've enjoyed in recent weeks, Aberdeen, as they have picked up some form for the first time this season, unbeaten in 4, and they are back out early, but there is as yet no sign of Noah. I think they are going to make a change here. They come now, the visitors, striding back onto the Pittodrie pitch. I think they might make a change. The board is up, and I think it could be Matheus Eas, the Brazilian striker. Scored 6 goals this season. He got 19 last season, including 5 in the Conference League proper. I was wondering why he perhaps wasn't starting, and I think the manager has obviously seen enough Sandro Perkovic, a Croatian, as he makes that change, and it is Grigic who goes off and Matheus Eas comes on. So you'll give Jack Milne and Mats Knuster and Nicky Devlin someone else to think about. He has good quality and has scored against Ferencvaros and Olimpia Ljubljana this season in Europe. He had spells as a youth player at Valencia and at Watford, so I think he's a good technical player, a good finisher. So we'll see what he brings to the second half. The Aberdeen side is the same. Mitov in goal, Devlin, Milne, Knuster, Lobben and Jensen. Out wide, Polvara, Aushish with Keskinen and Carlson supporting the goal scorer, Kevin Nisbet, is first of the season. And the players, both sets of players now lined up and ready to go, and the referee blows the whistle. Aberdeen halfway to a vital victory in the Conference League. Can they finish the job? As Knuster heads the long ball to Carlson. First time swipe from Carlson. He gets the second bite of the cherry into Nisbet, who must now be feeling confident, and he does the defender Santini, who pulls him back. A free kick, and a yellow card is out for the centre back. Kevin Nisbet suddenly right in the mood, Willie.
Well, strikers, don't talk to me about them, to be perfectly honest. It's amazing what a goal does for them. It sets them on fire, and Kevin Nisbet all over the place now at the beginning of this second half, scoring that really well taken goal, and it's given him a lift. He wants to take part in the game, he wants to be part of it, he wants to be part of a victory. Aberdeen, it looks as though they're going to have 2 strikers to deal with now right through the middle. We'll wait and see how that develops, so that might be a test for them, and test for their defensive capabilities. But Carlson with the opportunity to put one in now.
And the last one was pretty good. Here comes the Swede with a right boot, curls it to the edge of the 6-yard box. This time it's the striker Alenovic who deals with it. Here's Dylan Lobben, left-footed cross. It's a floater, and it comes off the top of the head of Polvara, and Keskinen was never likely to keep that in as it spun out for a goal kick to Noah FC, who trail Aberdeen by a 1-0. And they're playing out from the back here. And Aushish is right on top, and that's a brilliant touch from Ateke, because Aushish was right at his back and he just touches it away into space. And now Noah are playing forward. Here is Eas, the substitute, and he strokes it with the outside of the boot into Torarensen. And here is Sualehi, the left back. He's going to cross from deep. It bounces in the penalty area. Touch from Ferreira. Eas weaving in the box, and his path is blocked by Knuster, who then manages to clear, and he's won the free kick as well, as the Brazilian caught him late.
Well, all of a sudden, this is a changed team. No, is it? No, I mean, you're talking about the intent to get forward and actually sprinting forward. You've got, what, 4 or 5 players there sprinting forward on the back of that attack. That just didn't happen in the first half. It was all about keeping possession and, you know, not really being a threat. Now they've made that change, 2 strikers up top as well. But I think it's a mental side of it, you know, the attitude to get forward quickly and to put Aberdeen under pressure. So early stages this second half, I think Aberdeen will need to be alert to the change, what looks like a distinctive change of tactics from Noah.
Throw in from Jensen to Aushish, squeezes it down the line, Nisbet with a touch, and then the defender Santini comes across and puts it out for another throw in line with the edge of the box, and Jensen fires it towards Carlson, the defender. Half clears to Polvara, looks up and goes back to Jack Milne just outside the centre circle, bandaged up, and he takes it forward, Milne, and then picks out Aushish with a good pass. Aushish to Carlson, back to Aushish. Scooped pass, and Carlson had made the run, and Boakie, the defender, just leapt high enough to deal with it. Aberdeen have it back. Aushish, and he's under pressure and he's dispossessed, and now Sangare to the striker, looked a mile offside, flag is down for now, but Mullah Husseinovic goes after it, and then he flicks it inside the defender. He's inside the area. Ferreira tried to fire the low ball into the box, and the flag has now gone up for offside. Deary me, that's about as late a flag as you'll see.
It's pretty ridiculous actually, but obviously they've been told to do that. You know, that's the way linesmen have been you know, advised. But again, what is a good yard, and it actually looks like about 3 yards, doesn't it? You know, with the movement on the halfway line. So part of the game that's frustrating, but you just have to put up with it.
Polvara gives it to Jensen. Jensen combines well with Carlson down the left, and then he slides it to Keskinen, who looks offside. Low ball, sliding challenge, flag does go up in front of us, and I think that is the correct call.
Yeah, I mean, we're right in line with it, so we can see that Keskinen's in an offside position, making the run down the left-hand side, but again, the flag stays down and only goes up when the ball goes out of play, so obviously under instruction to do that.
Yeah, better play though, Willie, from Aberdeen down that left.
Yeah.
Santini clips the ball forwards. Sangari goes up, so does Devlin, and he's won it. Nicky Devlin flicked on by Polvara to Nisbet, who has put too much on that, and the goalkeeper will come out and claim it as he tried to play in Carlson. Just kind of lofted it over the defence, but it was just too heavy as Noah now play out through the goalkeeper, and here's Mouradian, and Souale, and Lobin is across to close him down, hits off the Aberdeen defender, and it's a throw in to Noah down next to their own penalty box. 50 minutes played, Aberdeen 1, Noah 0. Cleared down the line by Noah, and Milne had to shuffle across and head it out for a throw in. Territory gain for the Armenian champions, won the league and cup double last season, their maiden league title. Souale goes back to Mouradian, that Armenian international centre back. Big switch of play with the right boot from him, but Jensen has read it, come a long way, but he's missed the challenge, and Ferreira has it, and he floats the early cross, and the striker chests it down. I think he was looking for the support from Ayas, but I wonder if he could have controlled it and got the shot away.
I think that's what would be in most strikers' mind, wasn't it, to actually set it up for himself. It was a poor effort to bring the substitute Ayas into the game, you know, but it was an opportunity, and again, you know, a decent ball, and Jack Milne just has to be aware of strike, particularly when they've got 2 strikers now on the park. When it's one, then it's fine, you're just having to deal with the one, but there's now 2, and I think he was distracted with the fact that there's 2 out there, and, you know, and again.
Here he is, Ayas, corner of the box, dangerous ball, 1-0. Noah have levelled, quick as a flash. Aberdeen cut open, and a brilliant ball to the back post from Ayas finds Mullah Husseinovic, and he plants his header beyond Mitov, and it is Aberdeen 1, Noah FC 1.
That's been coming. Mullah Husseinovic just drifting. It's a completely different game when you're playing with 1 striker against and then 2 strikers. And Ayas making the run, Mullah Husseinovic getting the header. The cross was perfect, wasn't it? It was a superb cross from the substitute. It will be checked. It's quite tight, actually. I think it will be checked. No, the goal has been given. Well, obviously it will be checked, but the referee's making no indication that AS was in an offside position, so it must have been a tight call. And unfortunately for Aberdeen, really positive start from Noah in the second half, and unfortunately from the Pittodrie point of view, that they've not dealt with the two striker situation, and it's now level.
Nardin Milosavljevic goes 4 in a row in the Conference League. He's scored in every game, and that is his game, between the sticks, getting on the end of crosses. And that was a brilliant ball from Mateus Ayas, and what a difference the half-time sub has made. Already 7 minutes in to the second half at Pittodrie, and they're back level, Noah FC and Aberdeen. They were just played through too easily there.
They haven't recognised really, and you've got to recognise that as a player. You know, when the formation has changed and you've now got two strikers to take care of, and they haven't responded to that. They've been dragged away at times. They've had one eye on the striker and took the eye off the other striker. So it's a different situation, but they haven't responded to it in a way that Jimmy Tilleen would have hoped, I'm sure. And it's hugely disappointing, but I'll tell you what, it's a change of attitude as well from Noah. Absolute change of attitude right from the start of this second half. Much more forward thinking, much more direct, and with the two strikers up, it's causing a real problem for Aberdeen.
And here they come again down the right hand side. Ferreira, Ayas from the edge of the box, Mitov saves. It was comfortable enough for the Aberdeen goalkeeper, but Noah now wreaking a bit of havoc here at Pittodrie.
Well, they are, and you know, my advice would be for the three centre backs is to get closer to the two strikers and pick them up and leave Jack Milne free. You know, get Devlin in, get Knuster in, and pick up these two very potent strikers and leave Jack Milne free. They're not doing that. I would even be tempted, you know, just make sure that the wing backs are more defensive than offensive, just until things are sorted out.
Here's Keskinen, and Jensen's made the run and collects the ball and then pulls it back to Keskinen, edge of the box, and his ability to squeeze through a gap just not quite there for the Finn as the defender got the touch. Aberdeen a bit back in the centre circle. Here's Lobben, drives at the Noah defence. He's got Carlson to his right, finds the winger. Here is Jesper Carlson, couple of step overs, stops, gives it to Lobben. Lobben curls across, but no one's there. Headed to the edge of the area. Aushish collects, moves towards this near side touchline. Now it's Carlson on the right hand side. Couple of shimmies and comes back and lays it to Aushish. Plenty of room to cross. Stands it up. It's just over Nisbet. Edge of the area. Jensen comes in the field. Devlin now. Devlin finds Carlson, spins. He's got two on him. Jesper Carlson back heel to Aushish. Oh, what a chance! Nisbet, he can't believe it. He got a toe on it right in the middle of the goal, 6 yards out. He just didn't react quick enough.
He doesn't see it, does he? I think it comes through bodies as well. There are defenders in front of him. Aushish does really well as it comes across the face. And in fact, I think it's Nicky Devlin as well that kind of puts him off too. Nicky Devlin has a little go at it, doesn't make any contact, and then Kevin Nisbet just can't. He's not on his toes. I don't think he sees it late, and he's not in a position to take advantage. It's a real scoring opportunity.
Keskinen and Aberdeen win it high. They're going to make 3 changes, Aberdeen, shortly, and then Keskinen runs into Sangare, and that chance disappears. Shinnie, Armstrong and Lazatic are going to come on for Aberdeen very shortly. Noah hitting back in the second half, but that's a shocking pass from Santini. He plays it straight out the pitch, and his manager is going absolutely berserk, and now Aberdeen will make the changes. Shinnie is going to replace Polvara in midfield, so Dante Polvara's work is done. And Nisbet also comes off after scoring his first goal of the season. Marko Lazatic will finish this game. And Stuart Armstrong is going to replace Topi Keskinen as well, by the look of it, as Aberdeen shift things around. And I guess It's just kind of like for like, more or less. Well, I suppose Armstrong's different from Keskinen, different type of player, but in terms of position.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm surprised that Jimmy Tolina's went to the bench this early. I mean, it is approaching 60 minutes, I suppose, but it's still early. And you know, for me, I think it's more about sorting out the two strikers in the shape that Noah have changed to.
Here's Armstrong, Lobin in the box, just couldn't pick out a teammate with a cross. Armstrong manages to force it back to Knuster, and Aberdeen can sustain this attack. Out wide to Carlson, then infield to Armstrong. Armstrong delays and then turns back out and gives it to Knuster. Jensen, his pass is blocked, he'll get another bite at it, and was he fouled there? The referee says no, and Noah have the ball. Eas bundled over by Shinnie, and the Armenians get the free kick. And the yellow card is out. Is that
Shinnie?
For Graham Shinnie?
Yeah.
I thought he was flashing it to the bench there for initially, but yeah. What do you make of that one, Willie?
I mean, Shinnie goes in the way Shinnie goes in. You know, he's on the field, he's got all that energy, he goes in, closes the player down, but I didn't think, I thought it was a free kick, thought it was rather clumsy, but we've seen that from Graham in the past, just closing the opposition down. But for a yellow card, nah, just can't see it being the case.
Substitution for Noah, Gudmundur Torarinsson. Number 4 is off for Takuto Oshima, the Japanese midfielder. So both sides changing things up in the second half. It is Aberdeen 1, Noah FC 1, and they really need to win this game. Aberdeen, they were 1-0 up at half time through Kevin Nisbet's goal, but Noah have responded in this second half, and Mula Husseinovic with a header from Eas's cross, and it is all square in this match, and a point just doesn't really do it for Aberdeen. And it would be a big disappointment, because you work all season to get into European football, and it's tough, everyone knows that, but you got to try and make the most of it, especially at home, and it just hasn't quite come off so far.
No, not so far. It looked good in the first half, to be perfectly honest, but no, have changed their approach to the game. It's a completely different game second half, and Aberdeen have got to watch. It's you know, equal just now, but the way Noah are playing and the speed that they're moving and the way they're getting forward, then you know, and they're certainly throwing men forward, where they just didn't do that in the first half at all. So there's a big question mark for Aberdeen how they handle this game second half. But you know, Aberdeen themselves, they've got plenty of players on there that can make the difference in the final third, and Jimmy Tilley will be hoping that will be the case.
An hour gone, so still plenty of time left. And as this game is finally balanced, Rangers, I believe, still 1-0 up against Braga Ibrox. Here's Sualehi, the left back, gives it to Oshima, the substitute. And then Iteki, now Santini, and out to Ferreira on the far side, and that's picked off by Ashish. And now Aberdeen can break, but Noah have numbers back, and Ashish just clings onto it, finds Armstrong on the left hand side. Stuart Armstrong holds onto it as well. Ashish waiting for support, and he curls the pass out to Dylan Lobin. Lobin, he's got a bit of grass in front of him, he's going to take it on, dummies the cross, and he's driving for the byline. He stands up the cross, but it's a pretty weak one, and the goalkeeper Faiulu catches it in his 6-yard box, and it remains Aberdeen 1, Noah 1.
Disappointing end from the youngster there, Lobin, but you know, the attitude is right. He's got a little bit of space ahead of him. He takes the defender on, looks as though he's going to cross it perhaps, and then just gives a little dummy to the defender. But you know, the cross into the box is a poor one, far too easy for the goalkeeper to take.
It's good closing down from Carlson and co. As Noah tried to play it from the back, it's been blocked, and it's out for a throw-in about 10 yards from the corner flag. Sualehi up the line, Sangari, and he sends it long, but there's no one at home for Noah. Knuster controls, he's going to go all the way back to Dimitar Mitov, and the goalkeeper controls on the edge of the box. Aberdeen with Livingston to come on Sunday in the Premiership before St Mirren visit to Tawdry on Wednesday night. Busy night of action next Wednesday. We'll have it all covered for you live on Sports Sounds, as well as the weekend action, of course. 3 games on Sunday, 3 games on Saturday, including a late kick-off on Saturday at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock against Dundee United. We'll have commentary of Motherwell against Hearts as well. Should be a cracker. As here at Pataudry, Noah just trying to take the sting out of the game. Santini strokes it across to Moradian, his centre-back partner. Aberdeen are all too easily played round there as Sualehi stops it on halfway, goes back to Moradian, and then he fires it up to Eas. Jack Milne at his back, he's held onto it, gives it to Sangare, fast feet from the midfielder, and he's away from 2 players, and then Milne sides him down and is the latest player to go into the book. And that was rather blatant.
I would suggest that was okay in terms of yellow card being flashed at Jack Milne. Nowhere near the ball. Was it Sangare, was it, that he took down?
Yeah.
It's a lunge in, and whoa. Quite away from the ball, and the referee's no option but to take out the yellow card.
Yeah, he's just been trying to recover a bit of a tricky situation for Aberdeen. Just the sting of the game has kind of been taken out of the game, and it's all rather flat here at Pataudry as Gustavo Sangare, the Burkina Faso international, gets some treatment, and I think Leighton Clarkson is stripped and ready to come on. Yeah, there he is, appearing from behind the pillar. He is warmed up, so Aberdeen going to make a further change, probably Ashish, I would imagine, coming off. But we shall see. Interesting from Leighton Clarkson, rumours that he might be on his way in January.
Yeah, I can understand why he's unhappy. Quality player, not getting games.
Free kick from Noah Sualehi. It's not the best as it curled away towards the edge of the box, and then Moradian, the centre back, runs it out of play on the far side. So Aberdeen get a reprieve there. They need more in attack, and that's, I guess, why Leighton Clarkson's coming on, Willie, because when he's on it, he is the type of player who can spark something.
He's got a lot of quality. I mean, he's good from set pieces as well. And he's the type of player that wants the ball all the time. Ashish is a little bit different from him, I would suggest, and that's who is coming off. Possibly a player that wants to go forward more, whereas Clarkson, I think, wants to control the game more and steady the ship and play the passes. We'll just have to see if Jimmy Tillene's change, that one in particular, works. I think Aberdeen just need to try and up the tempo. I don't think they're going to change the shape in any way, shape or form. Still up to the 3 centre backs to sort out the 2 strikers. But at the other end of the park, then I think Clarkson will have a major influence in creating opportunities.
Throwing down the line is sliced into touch by Jan Eteke. So Aberdeen get another throw in, just about 5 yards shy of the halfway line. It is Aberdeen 1, FC Noah 1 after 65 minutes in the Conference League, and it's a sclaff from Lazatic, and runs out for a throw into Noah just inside their own half, and they will, having already amassed 4 points, probably be content enough with a point on the roads, the Armenians, before their final couple of games. They've got Legia Warsaw at home and then Dynamo Kyiv away to finish. As Lovin looks at the referee wanting a free kick, but it runs out for a throw-in, taken quickly by Sangare to Eas to striker and goal scorer Milo Husseinovic. Lovely feet from Clarkson as Aberdeen win it back, and then he fires it into Lazazic, first time into Armstrong. He is caught just inside the D, the centre circle I should say, and Aberdeen take the free kick quickly out to Carlson. He's in the box and then he strikes it at goal, and the goalkeeper has to beat it away at the near post, and it runs out for a corner.
Yeah, it was quick thinking, the free kick taken quickly, and Carlson getting the opportunity. It's a tight angle, it's going to have to be something special to keep the keeper from that angle. He gets plenty of power behind it, but it's straight at the goalkeeper, and he just kind of a fish it out for the corner kick.
Jesper Karlsson ready to take this corner. One thing you wouldn't describe him as is shot shy. He will hit it, and now he will hit this corner as Aberdeen look to re-establish their lead. Near post, Santini is there to meet it, heads it away to Lobin, and he slides the pass looking for Karlsson, but Oshima was alert and intercepted. And now it's Ferreira. Oshima, scoop pass for Sualehi, and then first time puts it into the air. Milne bandaged up round the head, headed it, and then Lobben, and it's given away by Noah. Shinnie into Armstrong in the centre circle. He's waiting for some support. Eventually gives it back to Knuster. Spreads the play out to Clarkson, just short of the halfway line. 1-1 at Pittodrie. It's Armstrong for Jensen, and Clarkson switches the play for Devlin to step onto a brilliant pass. Devlin has Lobben out wide, finds him. Lobben gives it to Carlson on the byline. Dangerous enough ball. I'll say that's just a wee bit too close to the goalkeeper who gathers it.
It is, but you know, my opinion is Lazatic's got to make the run to the near post. He's got Armstrong and Jensen behind him, and you know, he's the one that should take the responsibility and get himself forward, even if it's just to distract the goalkeeper or the centre back. Doesn't take that opportunity. I mean, it was a decent cross towards the near post and a well-timed and paced pass from Dylan Lobben for Carlson, but Lazatic's got to see that opportunity and got to take it.
Mitov has it in his own box, stands on the ball, awaiting an option. Devlin is in a bit of open space, and he's going to clip this straight up to Lazatic, but didn't have enough on it from Dimitar Mitov. It's straight to Oshima, and it's poor from the Aberdeen goalkeeper. And now Noah can stroke it about at the back and into midfield through Iteki. He fires it to Sualehi, goes back to Moradian, and they go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Timothy Fayulu, Democratic Republic of Congo international. Pass out from Boyake, and now into midfield, and Moradian and Noah just look a far more assured side in the second half as Lobben puts a challenge in. Hasn't managed to win the throw-in off Sualehi. It will be the visitors who get the throw-in, and there's going to be a change coming here. And it's Nicholas Milanovic who is on for Dylan Lobben, so an attacking change from Jimmy Tolini. Knows the importance of this final quarter. Aberdeen have to win, really, if they want to try and have any hope of getting through in the Conference League.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see. I think we'll probably go to the back four now, and the change of shape, you know, to allow, you know, more forward players to get up the park, and allow maybe Shinnie just to be the one that's sitting. So I think it is a very forward-thinking move from Jimmy Tillene, and the definite change of shape. And you know, it's a big test now because they've got two strikers on the park, and you know, Aberdeen got to take care of it too. Jack Milne, Knuster, looks like that have got to make sure that they're alert to the fact that they're playing man for man now.
A lovely clipped ball up to Jensen, who's controlled it on the thigh and turned, and then gives it to Carlson. Oh, he's beaten his man brilliantly. Rolls the ball over, flicks it to Nicholas Milanovic into the side netting. Glorious opportunity for Aberdeen. Brilliant football. Just doesn't come off. Remains 1-1.
That was fabulous, wasn't it? And you know, for me, Milanovic has got to play it back. Carlson, lovely little dink pass down the left-hand side, and if Milanovic knows, and he should know, where Lazatic is, you know, instead of going for the really tight angle, he doesn't actually hit the target, hits the side net, so it's a weak finish from him. In my book, he should be cutting it back for Lazatic, who has got a great opportunity to just simply tap it into the back of the net.
Aberdeen put the press on as Noah try and play out, and Milne's come across in front of the striker to win that, and he's fired that pass into Milanovic. Has done really well to just cushion it into an area where Devlin can pick up, and Devlin is tripped by Sualehi, and it'll be a free kick right on the touchline. Aberdeen want to get on with it, but the referee tells Nicky Devlin to calm things down, and it will be a free kick just a couple of yards in from the touchline on the right hand side. Milanovic goes short to Armstrong, back to Milanovic. Seen precious little of him in his Aberdeen career so far. The change of shape hasn't helped him as he gives it to Devlin, who rather clumsily runs into Iteki, but Aberdeen have it back. Milanovic on this near side, stands up Sualehi, comes in away from him, and then the pass to Armstrong is just towed away as Noah defend well, and Mula Husseinovic is battling with Canuster. Looked like a bit of a shove in the back there from the striker. It's some battle, they're both on the deck. Canuster's still going and eventually gets the free kick.
Yeah, I think it was a free kick, to start with the push on Canuster, but the referee allowing the play to continue, and Aberdeen, they're certainly up for the challenge. They know that they've got to really win this. Jimmy Tillene knows that as well, so the change of shape and the lift of tempo as well, I think kind of says it all. But they'll have to watch on the break, on the counter, don't leave themselves too exposed at the back, because No, I've certainly got players now, and they've got the two strikers up as well that can really test you and hurt you.
Knuster wins the long ball in the air. Oshima has done well to pick up the scraps and keep hold of it, but then it's given away into a dangerous area. It's recovered well by Sangari, who can send it back to Moradia and carries it out from the back. Sualehi crosses halfway, and now Milanovic is going to have to battle back, and Sualehi goes down, and it's a foul and a yellow card for Nicholas Milanovic, and he's been a wee bit card happy, I would suggest.
Yeah, by no means has it been a game that deserves the amount of yellow cards it's been put out. It's a little bit, Milanovic, a little bit clumsy from him, but there's no real intent. And it wasn't a deliberate attempt to stop the player either. It was just a clumsy challenge.
Braga have equalised against Rangers and have also had a man sent off, so I think they went down to 10 and then equalised. Gabriel Martinez, so they've also been pegged back. Here's Ayas, cross blocked, and it's a Noah corner. Aberdeen 1, Noah 1 as we approach minute 74 here at Pittodrie. Aberdeen really needing a win, and a hushed nervousness creeps around the old stadium because they are being asked to defend now as David Sualehi plants the ball on the edge of the quadrant. The left back for Noah getting ready to deliver this corner kick. Here he comes, he raises the arm, curls it, outswinger with the left boot, and the header from Mula Husseinovic, but ended up going nowhere near the target, but still alive. Eteke back out to Sualehi, left hand side of the box, evades one challenge and then plays it off Milanovic. It will be another corner to Noah.
Yeah, under a little bit of pressure now, Aberdeen, and from the set pieces, they haven't been great defending set pieces this season, so they are being tested at this moment in time, and such a crucial stage as well. 75 minutes in the clock, that they've just got to be fully concentrated and deal with it.
Corner incoming. Sualehi from the same side in front of the main stand. Here he comes. Another outswinger, higher this time to the back post, and Mula Husseinovic on the kind of stretch managed to get a connection on it. Didn't go onto the target, and now Oshima to Eteke, corner of the box. Sualehi back to Oshima. Oshima crosses from deep with the left foot, deflected, and Oshima gets it back. Aberdeen struggling to get a hold of the ball here. Still 1-1 as Ayas turns away from the defender. Muradia and Oshima. Santini, he's going to wind one up and then thought better of it, the centre back. Goes out to Ferreira on the right hand side, stands up across the back post, and Milanovic just had to chest it behind. Couldn't take any chances because there was a player around the back of him.
That's all hands to the deck, really, isn't it? Some intense pressure here from Noah. Aberdeen dealing with it well so far, but it continues. Milanovic giving away the corner. I don't think he had too much option, to be honest, in that situation. He had to deal with it towards the back post, but another test for the Dons.
Sualehi for the third time on the left foot. Curler, it's a flat ball to the near post, and the defender, as Ferreira, actually gets a head on it, and he's claiming it took a deflection, and the referee has now changed his mind there. The linesman's called the goal kick, the referee says it's a corner. There's going to be another corner from this near side.
Yeah, it was a corner. I think the referee had got it wrong. I don't know what made him change his mind, but it certainly looked like it came off a red jersey. It did. There's no doubt about that.
So Aberdeen down the wrong end of the pitch as they look to try and win this game. 13.5 minutes left, plus stoppage time. It's 1-1 between Aberdeen and Noah. Sualehi delivers a corner again with a left foot, and Santini gets up, comes off the top of his head and spins away. Devlin gets something on it. Ferreira goes across and then goes down, and he's not going to get the free kick. Devlin is going to instead run up the field, and he wants a free kick. Referee plays the advantage as it's played to Shinnie, and now it's Leighton Clarkson across halfway into the feet of Carlson. He's one-on-one with Oshima, drives in the pitch, rolls up with the studs, and he's kind of gone wandering where there's nobody supporting him. Shinnie to Jensen now. Jensen to Clarkson. Little half chance for a cross there, but Clarkson opts for the patient approach, and his return to Jensen is blocked and out for a throw by Sulehi.
Maybe the early cross would have been a better opportunity, the better decision from Clarkson. Still got possession, right enough.
Armstrong receives his throw and gives it back to Jensen. Clarkson, Aberdeen on this right hand side. Clarkson with a switch of play out to Carlson, who's away from the defender. Carlson, spin from Lazatic. Lazatic can't get the shot away. He's still spinning edge of the box. It's Devlin. Oh, it's just wide from Nicky Devlin. It's a decent effort, but no avail. 1-1.
Oh, he's not far away, is he? Just wonder how close that was. That would have been something special from Nicky Devlin. Good work, and Lazatic actually just seeing, and the pass was good. It's maybe a foot past, absolutely the right thing to try and do on his right foot. He's just looking for the top corner, he's looking for that postage stamp. Unfortunately, it just slips past. But Carlson, very productive down the left-hand side. Lazatic doing well to set up the opportunity, but ever so close. But actually, no cigar, unfortunately.
Yeah, what ball it was from Clarkson as well. Is almost it's like judged perfectly to drop over the defender's head. As the goalkeeper then, after being booed for some time wasting, is Balunda's goal kick straight out the pitch. Aberdeen throw in their own half. Devlin to Armstrong, back to Devlin, Milanovic, Armstrong, fast football from Aberdeen. Lazatic out to this near side, and he's left it for Milanovic. The challenge from Muradian, and Milanovic has gone down. I thought the defender got the ball there, but then the referee has signalled for the free kick eventually, but didn't initially do so. I'd like to see a replay of that one.
Yeah, the referee was letting it go. I thought that it was a decent challenge as well. He didn't get the boot on the ball, but he certainly got a shin on it. The Noah midfield player there, and Milanovic went down. I think it was more a clash of knees, shins, etc. And the referee decided, after giving it a great deal of thought, I must say, because he wasn't for giving a free kick at any time, and then the linesman get involved as well. And Aberdeen, the end result is Aberdeen's got an opportunity, and Carlson get a chance to flip one in from the right hand side.
Yeah, and before that, Noah are going to make a change. It's Helder Ferreira, the captain, on the pitch, being replaced by the club captain Hovanes Hambard Zumian, the 35-year-old Armenian. He's a right back, and he's now on in place of a winger, so he'll either play up the pitch or going to be more defensive. As Carlson swings in this corner, this free kick rather, and it went right to the back post again. The defence managed to deal with it, and then the clearance down the line is blocked by Clarkson. Throw in to the Armenians. 80 minutes on the clock at Vitaudry. Aberdeen 1, Noah 1.
Yeah, really intelligent crosses from Carlson from any type of free kicking. We've had plenty, Aberdeen's had plenty of free kicks in these type of area, and he puts them in with great accuracy and venom. Really difficult to defend again, but Aberdeen don't seem to be able to get anybody in the end of it, which is hugely disappointing.
It's almost as if they're not expecting him to put it on the money, but given he's got the quality, he certainly has done. But it remains Aberdeen 1, Noah 1. Aberdeen have had the best chances. I mean, Noah haven't created a great deal, but it's rather irrelevant because they've scored the same number of goals, and there is the goal scorer, Mila Husseinovic, but he's lost it. And Jack Milne, he tried to find Carlson on the run, blocked, and it was a crucial block because Carlson was in on goal if that found him. Noah work it to Suale, the left back, up to Sangari, returns it to the Portuguese left back, and then back to Sangari. These two combining nicely down the left hand side, and again as Suale takes it well into Aberdeen territory. Now it's Oshima out to the far side, where a replacement Hambard Zumian gathers, and Noah take it to midfield, and it's too easy for Iteke, and he hits the turf, looks for the free kick, and then Carlson's played it early, or Armstrong I should say, has played it early, and Lazatic was caught on his heels It's a goal kick ultimately to Aberdeen as it's ballooned off the pitch.
I think Lazatic was looking for it in behind, just a misunderstanding, wasn't it, to Stuart Armstrong, looking for Lazatic to come short, and Lazatic wanting it in behind, and Stuart playing it short, and it was intercepted. Nothing came of it though, but the minutes are ticking. 8-2 on the clock at this moment in time, and I think at this stage it's more, you could wait a little bit longer before throwing caution to the wind, but to be perfectly honest, I think with maybe 10-12 minutes left, and Aberdeen's got to do something.
Humbert Zumian, low cross on the right hand side, and it hits off Knuster, and has gone for a corner. It has, so corner on the far side to Noah. You're racking up the corners in the last 50 minutes of this game. It's 1-1, and Aberdeen really, you feel, need to win this game, almost to the point that it's worth throwing the absolute kitchen sink at it. And if you lose,
it's irrelevant if it's a draw. It's very difficult to see how you can qualify sitting at this stage with just the 2 points. And what Noah on 4 just now, they probably think 5, and then they've still got 2 games to go. That it gives them a good opportunity.
Here comes the corner from Sualehi to the back post, header down and wide. Goal kick to Aberdeen. Well, last season, if you got to 7 points, almost everyone made it, apart from Hearts, who had that costly draw at home to Petrokub on the final match day, and ended up missing out on goals scored. Aberdeen's goal difference before a ball was kicked in this round was the joint worst in the Conference League at -7, which means that they probably need to get to 8 points rather than just 7. 7 might not be enough, and so, especially when you look at the strength of fixtures, the strength of the teams they've to play in their remaining fixtures, a win here tonight just feels a must, and they've given it away to Sangari, who gallops into Aberdeen territory right in the middle of the pitch. Clarkson hesitates, eventually forces Sangari to play it, and he's given it away, and it's cleared. Sualehi delays the ball forward and goes back to Muradian. Now Sentini, and it's a clever ball out wide to Humbert Zumian, and he's made a hash of controlling it on the touchline. It goes out for an Aberdeen throw. To Tawdry, willing Aberdeen on, growing a tad frustrated that the play is not down the Aberdeen end, but here comes Milanovic to Armstrong. Milanovic continues his run, but it's well covered, and then he's dispossessed Armstrong, and Metius Eas is now breaking for Noah FC as a beach ball rolls on the pitch at Pataudry. Up to Mula Husseinovic, the goal scorer. He's battling with the Aberdeen defence. There's 3 of them having a go, and he managed to hold it up and get it away to Oshima. Oshima to Eas, back to Oshima, edge of the box. Now it's Eas, Oshima again, and that one was poor, and Jensen intercepted, and it's fired up to Lazatic on halfway. He's isolated at the moment, the Aberdeen striker. He needs to wait for support. He holds it up and gives it to Jensen. It's not the best pass, forces Jensen to scramble across. Jensen then has to delay, and it's now Clarkson into the final third. Clarkson to Shinnie, 5 to play plus stoppage time. Here's Carlson to Milanovic on the right hand side of the penalty area. Milanovic, he's one-on-one with Sule, as a go at him, tries to go down the outside, gets the ball, it's run out, goal kick. And Aberdeen need better than that. He just looked like he had no confidence he could go by his man there.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to try and get him off balance, Sahuli, down that left-hand side, and although he's moving his body, Milanovic, I don't think it's enough. I think he's got to dip to the left and then take him to the right, and he just didn't do it. And it was quite easy to defend. He eventually hits it too much, but the defender had it well covered as well. He was never getting the crossing.
Change coming again for Noah. It's going to be Marin Jakolis, the Croatian winger, who's going to come on for Gustavo Sangari, who's been pretty good in that midfield area for Noah FC, as remnants of an earlier display are now blown across the Pataudry pitch, and the goalkeeper plays it long. Jack Milne has misjudged that one. Devlin is there to cover, and he just manages to evade Jakolis, and the passes forward to Armstrong are a bit rushed, but Noah have to clear it out anyway for a throw into Aberdeen just shy of halfway. Jimmy Tillene's side with 3.5 minutes of this game plus stoppages to try and find a winner here. They really need one. Devlin throws it down the line. Sualehi heads it. Armstrong spins and then smashes it up into the air, and Carlson waits for it to drop. No way he's challenging in the air for that, hoping the defender makes a mistake. He didn't really. And now Iteke, the midfielder, is it's a free kick given for handball, I think. It seemed to come off an arm in there as it bounced about. And 87 minutes on the clock, and it's Aberdeen 1, Noah 1, live on Sportsound.
Yeah, it's going to take something special for Aberdeen to get the 3 points here. Noah has been a different team in the second half. They've got back on level terms. They seem quite happy that they'll deal with the draw. And Aberdeen are looking for someone to step up to the plate, to do something special. Do they have someone like that? Clarkson certainly got it, and Carlson too. But it might just be, maybe even Milanovic, who I believe has got, goals in him. But they need that goal.
And they've just, having been gifted the ball by the goalkeeper Devlin and then Knuster, they've all kind of made poor decisions, and it's ended up with Noah with the ball at the back. Sualehi chips one down the line for Yakulis, who's into the box, and he puts it across. Mula Hasanovic tried to control it with his back to goal, but it was on the stretch, and then Mitov decides not to catch that. And can you explain that, Willie, as he was under pressure and lashes out for a throw-in?
Was it a pass back or a knee back?
I don't think it was a pass back.
Was it not from Clarkson?
Maybe it was.
Anyway,
give him the benefit of the doubt as Clarkson goes forward, but then he's overrun it, and it's won by Hambard Zumian into Eas. Now it's Noah pressing for the winner. Aberdeen, no composure, and just as I say, that's a brilliant turn from Lazatic as he pinched possession. Pass in front of Clarkson, but luckily Jensen's there to pick up the scraps. Jensen striding forward, he's got Carlson to his left. Armstrong's made a run. It goes to Carlson, left hand side of the box. Carlson crosses in, Lazatic is peeled off, but the defender got in front of him and clears it in the nick of time. Sualehi misjudges it. Shinnie's won it. Shinnie goes after it. It's played off Graham Shinnie, and it's going to spin to the goalkeeper, who is in no rush, doesn't even pick it up, and Aberdeen fast running out of time.
That took a sore one. I think it's in his face, Graham Shinnie, that he took that one. He had to stay down. I think he was stunned. But if it came off his body, he might have had the opportunity to carry on and cause a little bit of disruption in the Noah box.
Into Armstrong, whose pass is poor, and it's Boakye who picks it up and into the centre circle. We're into the 90th minute at Pittodrie. Aberdeen 1, Noah 1, and the visitors for the second half fight back, and now they're on a search for a winner as Milo Hasanovic runs into the channel, putting pressure on Knuster, but it's a brilliant turn, and he finds Jensen. It's an uncertain touch from the Dane, but it manages to get the throw in off the defender who made the challenge. Aberdeen just lacking a bit of conviction, a bit of composure as it's thrown up to Lazatic. Uses his body really well against the defender, but there's too many of them for him, and he's not going to get the free kick that he wants either, as Muradian strides forward, and Eas had made a run, but it won't find him, and it goes out for an Aberdeen throw-in. And stoppage time, 4 minutes. We're into 4 minutes of stoppage time. Can Aberdeen find the winner they so desperately need if they want to keep their hopes of progressing in the Conference League alive? And Noah FC, though, are the ones with the territory. Throw in here in the final thirds, given to Yakulis. Now it's Sualehi, and he's maybe just going to try and win a corner here. Devlin gets a challenge in, throw in, and this is probably where the Armenians want it.
Yeah, I mean, you keep it down there. I think they've looked, since scoring that equaliser, they've looked as though they were content with that scoreline, and they're just trying to run the clock down, and it's at the wrong end of the park as far as Aberdeen's concerned.
They've won it back, and Armstrong sends it long. Lazatic, he's just isolated though. Marko Lazatic, and Noah can knock it back to Fayulu, the goalkeeper. He chips it up to halfway. Header won by Hambard Zumian. Jensen underneath the seconds, and then Knuster up into the air. Aberdeen need a foot on it, but it breaks for the visitors. Oshima, Sualehi, the left back to Oshima. turns and tries to drive at Jack Milne, but he's got too much pace, Milne, but he's found a gap to pass it to Ayas, and he spreads the play out to the right hand side where Hambard Zumian crosses from deep. It's a flat ball, comes off the midriff of Knuster, who controls and then puts it into the air. Header from Noah, but Armstrong's won it, and Aberdeen now can try and move forward. Armstrong, he slides it to Carlson on the left hand side. His touch just kind of let him down, but he's recovered it brilliantly, and in the back he'll return for Armstrong is blocked, and now Mula Husseinovic is in behind. Aberdeen have players back. He gets the shot away. He was offside. Flag goes up belatedly, and we've played now 2 of the 4 added minutes. Smitov has it, launches it forwards. Lazatic is up there. Sentini wins it. Clarkson chests the ball just outside the centre circle. Finds Carlson. Jensen on the underlap. It's Alexander Jensen. Sentini got across and kind of scuffed clears it out to the far side, but Noah have it. Up to Mula Husseinovic. Shinnie's won it. Then Clarkson back to Shinnie. Shinnie across the grass to Carlson, who's on the left. Carlson takes on his man, but comes infield. He's looking for an opportunity to unleash that right boot, but 3 of them are in his way, and he's desperate for an option here. Not enough movement from his teammates. Knuster steps into the game. Armstrong, Lazatic goes down. Aberdeen need him on his feet. Jensen towards the byline. Back to Armstrong. They're queuing up in the box. Armstrong's ball is blocked. Back to him though. Armstrong crosses from deep. Knuster's up there. Milanovic with a header over the top. And was that the final chance for Aberdeen? 1 minute of the 4 added left. It's Aberdeen 1, Noah 1.
Probably is, isn't it? And it's a decent opportunity. You know, it looks stuttering out at the left hand side, but it's a decent cross in from Armstrong. He picks out Lazatic. Not an easy one for Lazatic to take. He's under a little bit of pressure, but at the same time you just feel, it was going to take something special. Sorry, it was Milanovic who had the header over the bar. You just feel that something special is not going to come Aberdeen's way tonight.
Goal kick long. They've got 20 seconds remaining. Headed forward, Armstrong, flick on. Carlson's onto it. It's Carlson. Milanovic has made a run and it's into Lazatic. Hits off him. Armstrong's there and they can't regather. And the referee looks at his watch. That might be that. And Milanovic had made a brilliant run, but Carlson didn't see him. Noah have it. Shinnie. Milanovic now. Milanovic. Is there one final chance for Aberdeen? His cross is blocked. Milne, and the referee blows the full-time whistle. And the boos ring around Pittodrie, and the Aberdeen players have their hands on their knees and look forlornly at the turf as members of the crowd here head for the exits. Well, it started off in positive fashion in the first half. Kevin Nisbet ending a 14-game goal drought with a brilliantly taken strike to give Aberdeen the leads. Excellent work from Keskinen in the build-up, his strength, and then his low cross found Nisbet, who turned the defender and reversed it beyond the goalkeeper. That meant Aberdeen went into their break 1-0 in front and feeling good about themselves, but the visitors, Noah, made a half-time switch. They brought on one of their key men off the bench, the Brazilian Matheus Ayas, and it was his brilliant cross that picked out Nardin Mula Husseinovic, who planted a header beyond Mitov. Aberdeen had the vast majority of the chances thereafter. Nisbet put one over the bar, which he just didn't react in time when he was 6 yards out. Carlson had a shot saved. Milanovic put one into the side net, and Devlin curled wide, and then right at the end Milanovic headed over the top. But it's the same old story for Aberdeen. They can't seem to score more than 1 goal in a game. It's now 8 games on the spin. They haven't managed to score more than 1 goal, and ultimately it's probably cost them their chances of progression in the Conference League. Full time here at Pittodrie on Matchday 4. Aberdeen 1, FC Noah 1.
Martinez